and with that, hello to our show. Today the casters will be me, Meister Fluffbot, and
Miyazokama. First time doing this, so we'll have some fun.
I think I'll have to boost you a bit. Talk.
Yeah, hello.
Oh yeah, I think that is better. Maybe feedback in chat if somebody's listening, if this is fine. Oh wait, no. Yes? Yeah. Everything's fine. I'm confusing myself. Um, I think it's good. Just lay back, do your best. I mean, we've already talked about it. Like casting and roles, etc. So.
Oh, yeah, I've done it before for Smash Bros, so I kind of get the flow. But it's definitely it's an interesting thing to get into. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Also,
Oh.
having a lot of fun looking at these players because there's a lot of questions I get when I see where certain people are going, as well as it caught me off guard seeing a D1 in the lobby, but it's approved, so we get to watch that going on.
Okay. We gotta keep an eye out for that. By the way, this is my second time casting at all, so we're gonna have a great time.
Infinite more experience than I.
Oh.
The expert.
I am. I just wanted to say I'm your teacher now.
Sensei.
Sensei, please no, no! I kept it in, and you destroyed it. Why?
Had a vomit. Sorry. Yeah, no. I mean, the fun part of having that diamond in the lobby is if you beat him, you get a brag forever.
The bragging rights.
You can be like, "Hey, I deserve your rank, bro. You lost to a silver player.
Give me your damn account now.
Hand it over.
Hand it over. This is no fun and games anymore." Okay, it seems we're getting ready. One player is left. I'd say the team that is too late gets a penalty. In the case, they have to bake cookies for the whole team.
Right, that sounds like a good punishment.
Especially sending it over to Europe.
The shipping fees, it'd be fun. It would definitely make me never want to be late because I don't want to pay. Especially because you have to make sure that they're not stale by the time they get to someone, because that thing will be rock hard by the time it ships.
I mean, if you're lucky, it's rock hard.
True.
I'd prefer it rock hard, not gonna lie.
It'd be a new species of bacteria by the time it makes it to you. Or muffin, yeah.
Oh, goddamn. Oh, yeah, I said cookie, right? I meant muffin. My head was like, oh, yeah, a muffin.
No, you did say cookie.
Yeah, I just noticed. I apologize. Oh, damn. Oh. Okay, on this fine evening, I hope you guys are all well. Apparently, yes, the last player is on his way, so we will be starting soon. I don't think well, let's see if this works. I set something fancy up with the help of Rabbit Panda from our community. And we'll see if this works out or if I fucked it over.
We'll say I'm a little disappointed that I'm assuming we're not seeing, if they're in LCS or if we're not seeing Phil's Keo top lane. He has what I'd say is the meta top lane as his entire champ pool. And I was like, that'd be interesting to watch because every single pick he had up his sleeve was one of the best top laners at the moment.
Tell me about it. I don't know.
Yeah, because for a while, especially pro play meta, it's been Cassante and Jax with Fiora up there have been pretty dominant. I also personally feel Yone kind of got a spike with the last update because he has the option to rush Infinity Edge, which is a disgusting option.
Have you heard about AP Jax?
I've seen it in my games. Zonia's Hourglass is not fun to deal with.
Nope. I also think
he gets to leap on you, dodge, go into stasis, and then dodge again, and it's kind of insane.
Yeah, I think it's very unhealthy right now. I hope it will get worked soon. He's fine as a split pusher.
The characters is really unhealthy right now.
By the way, okay, the bans are currently a bit wonky. So the first ban on TRO's side was Nami. I apologize for that. I wasn't able to fix it in time. There comes the second ban from the Troglodytes. So let's see what they're gonna ban next. The Vex. By the way, I do think that Nami is always a good ban because Nami is just so disgusting with a lot of ADCs, especially with her E currently. I'm a bit sad that they took away from her crowd control and just put her damage on E.
That is a Nami was one of the most played of one of their mid laners, so it is Probably a good ban to get out, especially if they have more mobile characters. I know few people in this matchup have Irelia in their games. I know mid and a top both played Irelia, so that character would kind of shut her down.
By the way, the site of the mental papier, I hope I pronounced it right, banned Wukong right there, and I'm very sorry that I cannot capitalize the names. It is not in the grasp of our system. By the way, the Galio ban just went through and okay, my HUD is broken by a lot.
I was gonna say, one of the things I had saw that man has some crack stats on Galio. If that thing made it through ban, they had to have been baiting it. But I don't think they have anything they want to counterpick a Galio with.
Here comes the Gangplank ban. I mean, Gangplank is very much disgusting if you let him scale.
He's a very obnoxious champion. The game gets late, but as well as if you just coordinate with your team pretty well, you can kind of avoid him out. But he does also benefit a lot as well from the new crit changes that came through because he's getting Infinity Edge second item.
I mean, regardless, as how useful he is, his ult is team fight changing.
Yeah, the amount of times I've just laned against the Gangplank and he pressed R and got 2 kills and he was just farming wave. Yeah, I'm just like, dang.
Oh,
Wish
God,
I could do that, bro.
Mercy! Oh, there come very meta picks right here. Okay, the picks are not working either. Okay, something is wrong in this HUD. I apologize. Well, the Maokai was picked by Team Mental Papier. So we got 2 very much meta picks right here. If the Maokai is AP.
B1 and R1 Maokai. Oh, and the R2 Caitlyn. They are free to kind of get whatever they want into it, but since they did ban Nami, they can't really get the rushdown counter into that Caitlyn.
True. Evolution Nami,
so
right?
that kind of bites themselves in the foot. That's something that they would have wanted to run, but they also might have been afraid of them running it. Since they do get 2 picks right off the bat, they would have had to pick Nami first pick if they wanted to do it themselves.
Okay, there comes a Kai'Sa against Caitlyn. I don't know if I like the matchup, to be honest, because Kai'Sa just has a less range, doesn't she?
Yeah, no, it's definitely, she's going to be under tower a lot of the game, and it's going to be up to Zyra to kind of keep her in lane. Yeah, Caitlyn's just going to have her shove the entire time. Honestly, if I were their jungler, I'd be focused on getting all those early drakes, because you're just going to have Caitlyn ready to rotate every single time.
Yeah, this HUD does not work. Troglodytes just picked Kai'Sa and Zyra, as we just talked about, so Zyra could be game-changing here for the Kai'Sa, but that's probably why they picked it. Just let Kai'Sa scale, Zyra deal with the early game and lane. Braum.
It also is the comfort pick for their support, because they do play almost only Zyra, so it could also just be they're going for what they know best.
Which is fair. Sometimes just taking the comfy pick makes you win a bit harder.
Yeah, I've seen a million times you'll see someone who counterpicks a character and they don't know how to play the character. They would have been better off playing a character who's not good in the matchup just because they're better at them.
Yeah.
Ooh, Camille. That's always a good one. If you're playing for Kai'Sa scaling, you need that character gone because she will just dive past and isolate her for the team.
True. And Camille is just a menace.
Actually, the other team banned Camille. That's my bad.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that's worth it for them, in my opinion.
I don't know.
Because they have Braum and Maokai to collapse the Camille, which is...
I think it depends on what they play on top lane, because Camille has, like,
the lane matchup is definitely what they can play for.
Yeah. There comes the Syndra
as
ban,
for team identity, it's definitely like Camille might win lane, but she wouldn't win game.
Yeah, might be.
But if they're fighting for 2 prio lanes, if they want to get prio top and bot, then that might be what they're going for.
There comes the Victor ban, by the way. So we've got Camille, Victor on the side of the mental papier. Oh god. And on
the overlay is struggling.
It's struggling very hard. I apologize. This is
3
the
characters
first time.
shown, 4 bans shown. There's a Lux ban.
I'm trying my best. Oh yeah, the Lux Syndra ban from Team Troglodyte.
We're trying to keep at that siege comp that they were kind of building with Caitlyn Braum.
Yeah, we'll change it up for the next game. We'll just I'll just use the in-game screen. So, oh cool, Darius is showing up.
I can't say I'm a fan of the Darius here. It might be good for lane, though he is kind of set up to be counterpick, which is already scary for Darius. But it's going to be rough getting his 5 stacks on, and even when he does, like Braum and Malkite is going to hold him in place.
That is
So
absolutely true.
he has to be able to cut through those two really fast to be able to do anything this game. Ooh, and the Alawi. Oh, no.
I would have
Olaf.
loved to see an Alawi. Isn't Alawi Timsy's main? I think it's their top laner, right?
I wasn't able to see.
Wait, I'm on the wrong team side. Never mind.
Alawi is always an interesting one, and she would have worked well with what they were going for with the team comp, because basically if Kassadin goes in for a dive of Mumu, they just delete whoever goes in. And then outside of that, they just kind of poke them down with Caitlyn until they can get a fish in.
They have a great split of the damage as well with Caitlyn and Olaf, just like Olaf being a real menace into, especially against Darius and Amumu, I'd say. Even Kassadin should have problems dealing with an Olaf, because he can just stick on them and keep his ult active. So I'm curious how they think about playing around it.
Yeah, no, Troglodytes definitely are going to want to get a scale, but they want to make sure Olaf can't just run down Kai'Sa Zyra the later half of the game, because the entire team's going to be collapsing Kassadin late game when he goes in. So it's going to be up to, Zyra Kai'Sa for scaling and doing damage. But I do think as long as TMP is just holding them hostage early game, keeping every objective down and just snowballing off of massive gold lead, the game's just free for them.
On the side of the Troglodytes, you already said they want to scale, so I'll be hyped to see some mid lane ganks right here.
Definitely Sylas can still be abused early, and the magic resist will play in a lot for Kassadin. So I wouldn't be surprised if the first few levels mid lane has prio, and then they'll start shifting in Sylas's favor for about mid game.
Didn't he get buffed or anything? Or is this my imagination? Because Sylas is like clapping ass right now.
I think it was just the jungle changes were really good for Sylas, so he's become a really good flex pick, because you can throw mid or jungle on team play. That's really good because you can grab him early, and they won't know which lane he's going into, as well as just like the ults at his disposal. He's got a Mumu ult, he's got Kassadin ult, he's got Zyra ult. It's not a fun thing to have to be thrown back in your face. Actually, Kassadin is awful, but
Sylas X Kassadin. Can he use it once, or can he use it like a duration?
He can only use it once, I'm pretty sure.
That sucks.
So it's not as great, but it is a blink on Sylas, which is backline access. So while it's less for the damage, which is what Kassadin loves it for, the mobility does become pretty nice in Sylas. Yeah. It's like when you use Zoe ult in Sylas. It kind of sucks, but you can get a goofy E off on someone and pick out someone you wouldn't have been able to normally.
I mean, I think the Kai'Sa ult is here the weakest, to be honest, because if he's already on them, it's kind of strange to dash again. It can be helpful,
his ult grab range is pretty far, and you can do it off LICC, so like he can get a stray Maokai ult, and he can follow that up from like half a screen away.
Yeah, so, but that's pretty niche. Well, let's see if he ever uses it.
The worst ult by far is definitely Darius ult, because he can't stack bleed, and that is how that ult works.
Oh,
so
true.
he'll get like 80 true damage.
True.
And that's it.
I mean, 80 true damage is a menace if you only have 18 HP left.
If they only have 80 HP, it has a use. It's just really
not
bad.
Good.
I think that's one of the ults where he does the voice line where he's like, this ult's garbage, because he does have voice lines for certain ults that, right as aware, kind of suck.
Well, I think it comes down to team fight coordination, especially if Troglodytes goes for a team like a late game comp. I don't think I've seen them coordinate yet, and I have seen the team Mental Papier coordinate team fights, and they were pretty strong. So this might pose a challenge.
The team fights are definitely harder for Troglodytes to pull off as well, because they just have a lot more that can go wrong. All TMP has to worry about is just holding you away from them and letting Caitlyn just poke you out and then punishing you when you go in. But it does become a numbers game. If Kai'Sa Kassadin get to late enough game, it becomes a lot more difficult, because they will blast through the front line and delete the back line.
They gave a question in for me. I'd say as we are waiting, I'll answer it. Meister Fluffbot, are you looking forward for your game next week MFF. That's McDonald's Freedom Fighters, isn't it? To be honest, I'm looking forward to any match. So yeah, glad to have you.
It's fun to get out there. It's fun to play, win or lose.
Exactly.
I signed up for some tournaments for some other games that like I suck at, and I still, it's fun to get your ass beat out a couple times. It teaches you a lot, and it also teaches you, wow, I'm really bad at this game. But you get, more numbers, more people, more exciting brackets because you get to see, people play 3 games and they win. It's like, oh, it's boring. But like, oh, they beat 16 people to get to this grand finals, and they're now ready to go at it.
By the way, I'm stuck in the loading screen. I hope it will be resolved
I'm
soon.
also there. It's
yeah, okay.
0%.
Tell me if you're in game. The last time I had some issues with the spectating. So.
Well, I'm connecting overseas, so that also might have some issues on my end. But
oh no,
I haven't had issues playing on EU servers before. So.
What are you, an Australian?
No, I'm American. I'm.
Oh God.
The scum of the earth.
I mean, at least you're not upside down, so you've got that going for you.
I don't know how they keep the blood out of their heads. I'm in.
I don't know. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm in too. I have the bug where it doesn't load. Teaming always sells. I have to like skip forward, but it's not working.
Yeah, it's not working either. It's stuck on the.
Take in my struggle. Hello. Well, this is funky. Wait. It's not working. Help.
Small indie game.
It's working! Okay. Are you synced up with me? Well, do you see anything? Do I have to...
Stream's not up yet. But the stream side, it's still
oh,
dark.
Wait, yeah, I've just noticed. I'm gonna fix
The game just had to catch up, though. I'm about 13 seconds in right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They're just walking into lanes, so nothing's happening. Oh, the freaking screen capture already. It's not working. Okay, there you go. There you go.
It was just frozen black for a minute just because the game was still catching up. It loaded us in, but it wasn't in stream delay yet.
Yeah, you guys are not getting chat, so... no chat for you. Oh, we are sitting in invade, by the way, so I've just been on point. Let's see if I can do anything here. Can I ask you if you can, like, I forgot that completely. There's a shortcut where you can zoom out in spectator mode even farther. Could you Google that real quick?
Shortcut to zoom out in spectator?
Yeah. I mean, you didn't really miss anything earlier, because I was also just seeing a black screen. Okay. Nothing happened with the invade. It was an interesting idea, though.
That is something you have to do in the config file, so I don't think you can do that during the live game.
Aww. It's Batman. Well...
But it is good to note, because being able to see the whole map is nice at times.
You gotta have to count... you will have... No, wait. Yes, you have... No. I'm having a fucking brain fart. Just leave me, okay? Okay, we just saw both junglers starting bot lane. So,
yeah, both pathing bot to top. I don't know if I'm a fan of that. It does make the top lane more volatile, so you can get one snowballing. But on the other hand, you do have a really oppressive bot lane with Caitlyn Braum. It might be good to just keep abusing that.
How I feel about like Maokai's early game, because without Liandry's or Demonic's Embrace, he's half a champion, I'd say.
Yeah, he's got lockdown, so he can kind of push someone in. And did this Maokai take? I didn't get a chance to look at the runes. If he took Phase Rush, he can still kind of pull up the gank with that, because he can just run out of there. That's why a lot of Maokais have been taking that.
He does indeed have Phase Rush. So you can see the game, right?
Yeah.
Good. I'm at 230 right now, so don't spoil me if you're ahead.
I'm probably a second ahead or behind.
Yeah, that's good. Good enough.
Yeah, it looks like Darius got the first push in. If he can get this crash, that'll be really good for him. So he'll get a reset timer and stay kind of on par with Olaf. He definitely wants to get a snowball going before Olaf hits 6, though, because then it gets a lot harder to take him down.
And I do think that the Darius really much desires being heads up in that game, because Olaf just snowballs so hard.
Yeah, and if Darius is not ahead this game, he's walled out and useless almost the entire game.
That's great pull up and play with the range of the turret. I mean, he took a tower shot right there, so it wasn't much.
It's a queen pull and E. I don't know if Maokai can do much with this gank.
especially because he did not get him into turret range. Damn, that might be a kill. No, it's not.
Ooh, that's a flash. Also tells his team that, you know, they're not going to be at risk for a dive bot lane.
Oh, that is a kill there.
Ooh.
Well played.
Well played on Darius.
This Olaf did not respect the E pull range.
This is why we see the blind Darius. He's confident in what he has, and it's showing.
It's pretty similar to Laui, isn't it?
I think Darius is a lot more aggressive than Alawi. Alawi's more of she'll poke you out and punish you if you go on her, whereas Darius will definitely just kind of run in there and get what he wants. But
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of times where a tank will overextend into a Darius and he'll free stack off them, then kill the tank's entire team. So things to watch out for, especially something Maokai should make sure he doesn't do is he shouldn't let Darius ever full stack off him. Even though he can take the damage, his team can't. Bot lane's definitely staying in a spot that's really good for Kai'Sa and Zyra. They're not being held under turret by Caitlyn. That's really good for keeping them breathing room.
I was asked if I'm able to rearrange the scoreboard. What do you mean with... Ah, I'm sorry. Yes, I will do... Absolutely, I'm very sorry. I forgot. The ADC on the ADC position. There we go. Thank you for telling me. I was confused for a bit because I thought you meant the pop scores.
Zyra got a really good root there, but Braum Shield ate almost all that damage.
Yeah, that's because you said that the Zyra is essential to keep the pressure on bot lane. But the Braum just nopes. The Zyra damage is just lost.
Yeah, and they're starting to get kind of low, which is getting more and more uncomfortable for that Kai'Sa. If she's forced to back, it's really bad for her because she wants those levels and she wants that gold.
By the way, in mid lane we are seeing constant fighting, and the CS is on Silas' side, especially because the Kassadin just has less trade potential in the early game, I'd say.
Yeah, no, he's got a decently shorter range, and he only has, you know, so many options. He can only walk towards Silas. Or Silas can dash around a bit, poke with his Q a lot more. And his passive will give him a little more push prio over Kassadin. But he also needs to do something with this prio, because if Kassadin just kind of... If he's pushed in, he's okay with it, as long as you're not getting anything for it.
That is true, yeah. Yeah, the Silas might see a roam before level 6. If he keeps pushing like this. Oh, never mind. The Kassadin is roaming right now. But the bot
camera hasn't moved yet, but Amumu was trying to take Gromp on the red side jungle. Looks like he just gets out. Oh, Maokai.
He has no flash, and that is a kill.
Maokai looked like he was standing there for a second. I wonder if something happened.
Might be talking. It was, by the way, a very, very good play on the Zyra here, because she zoned the Caitlyn away. She could not follow up into the river, where they could have maybe taken a move.
Yeah, as well as Kassadin. Even though they had numbers there, Caitlyn, Braum did have a lot more, you know, health in that fight. So if Maokai, you know, got any CC off, was starting to kite out, then Caitlyn definitely could have racked up some kills there. It is scary for Silas now, though, because we do have a Kassadin level 6, and he just got a good roam. So Silas is now kind of behind on tempo.
That is a very rough situation for the Silas.
Ooh, that root barely missing Caitlyn.
We are seeing a 2-level lead on top lane, and that is what we were exactly talking about. I don't think that this Olaf has, like, in the immediate future, does not really have a chance to get back in the game.
Yeah, no, it's a very volatile lane. When one gets one kill, it's just kind of in their favor for the rest of the lane. You need jungle to kind of interrupt that, or you need a horrible misplay by your opponent.
That is a great escape, and the cannon secure on Kassadin's side. Very important. There comes the ult.
There's an all-in happening top lane.
Yeah.
Darius did miss a Q, and he canceled an auto there. Ooh, this is close.
That was
Ooh,
well
the flash and the missed axe wins that fight for Darius.
That was a very well placed flash right there.
Really showing his comfort on his character.
I do not know if Maokai has enough damage to kill Darius. I do not think so. Yeah.
I think Maokai honestly had that if he threw the little buddy into the bush, because then that damage would have gotten Darius from the first stun, but he threw it more into lane, expecting Darius to kite back, and that costed him his life.
And the Darius, again, just knows how ballsy he can be. He just sat there very confidently and waited for the Maokai.
Yeah, and this puts TMP in a really awkward spot because now there's 2 win cons in favor of Troglodytes. They've got a snowballing Darius, and they still can play for scaling on their Kai'Sa and Kassadin. They're going to need to find something to do soon, but Caitlyn's no longer keeping the push pressure into the bot lane. So they're losing Prio in the one lane that was designed to have Prio.
Adding to that, we have not seen much pressure of the Mumu yet. He just invaded once on the bot lane side. Even though I think Mumu's strong point is like his early ganks because of his massive amount of CC.
We might see a bit more now that he's hitting 6. He might go for some more aggressive fights, especially with Drag being up. But definitely, he is a lot more of a spam ganker, so he would be keeping people in. Honestly, a camp on Darius wouldn't even be bad at this point. They could probably, you know, Olaf steps an inch away from turret, that's his ult, or that's him dead. Not much he can do about it.
I'm always talking about how taking the top lane turret too early is very bad for your top laner because of the, well, you're just pushing him off your like his lane and he's just very unsafe on top side. But in this case, it might be good to push for the top lane turret so that Darius can just run around and be a menace.
Taking top lane turret's good for certain reasons and bad for other reasons. If you're not the first turret down, it's kind of bad because you want to stall it as long as possible, but it also allows you to open up the map, right? So when Olaf's, sitting their turret this whole game, he's not really looking to fight you. So what you can do with that is, you get the Rift Prio, you go for the, ooh, by the way, that Zyra ult hitting 4 people. Caitlyn ult going out, trying to get the pick. It's blocked by Zyra.
That was
good damage back and forth, but Kassadin shows up. If he gets an R stack, he might just have a full team wipe here. It's a very dicey situation for both teams.
They decide to
disengage. They both back off. That's probably the proper play. It's very coin flippy on how that fight would go.
They used a lot of resources to get TMP out of there, so I'm not surprised that they chose to play that passively. And the Kassadin as well, he doesn't have to take risks. He gets stronger with time.
That fight go neutral though is really bad for TMP again because, again, they're fighting scalers. They are happy with nothing happening. Yeah, going back to the top lane, yeah, with first turret being down, that gives Darius the option to influence other lanes as well and get that snowball going. Because right now, he only has so much time to go do things between each wave crash. So, he's still a buff here, but now he has to go back and catch wave. They're suspecting he might be on Rift.
But I don't
Looks
think
like he's
he is.
debating if he wants to, but that cost him a wave, hesitating that long.
He does not have
Camera
yet,
thinks
though.
Zyra clearing ward is definitely the focus here.
I mean, nothing else is going on. Everybody's just walking through the lanes. We can already also watch Kassadin, pummel some minions, but
we're seeing XP leads growing more and more. We got, Darius is up 2 levels still. We got Kassadin up a level, which is very scary.
And with more CS, and he just got a plating as well. This is very scary.
And he's building rods, so he's going to have quite the level economy over Silas.
Uh-oh. The Silas, yeah, he has lost chapter now. But with the... Oh, he's going for Everfrost, isn't he?
Likely. Definitely more of the CC to lockdown helps what their comp's going for, but Caitlyn's definitely... When you pick a Caitlyn lane, you want to get as many plates as you can early. You want to just get a big gold lead and blow people off of things, but they haven't even cracked a single plate in bot lane.
This is a bit sad, by the way. The Silas just used everything and wasn't able to kill the Kassadin. Yeah, I mean, he started with Baron's Shield, and with the Rod, he probably just has too big of a defensive ability.
Yeah, Kados of Aeons is going to keep him up and alive really well. That health per spell is just really nice, and you can kind of farm with his poke. Okay, going for the ult down mid, but Kassadin spots it early enough and just gets away. It's a really good ult that's put on a long cooldown.
That is an easy plating for the Darius on top lane. Thank you very much for showing that. But I think the Darius is fine, even if this just is a farming game now, because even if he gets ganked, he has the 3 kill difference, the 1 level lead. As we can see, he has the absolute domination in the lane itself, because the Olaf cannot step up.
Yeah, he has perma Prio. There's not much being done with the Prio. Moon's not, looking to get, jungle invades. It did secure Rift a little bit ago, but actually, yeah, no, Olaf secured Rift earlier. That's my bad.
So he's going.
We will have to see this Rift play being used. The issue is it's stuck on Olaf, so he has to get this window while Darius is roaming, and I don't think he's going to get wave under in time.
And he has to be careful of the Darius returning as well, because he can't get out of the turret. By the way, it's very good that this kill landed on the Kassadin, just aiding his snowball as well. It's always better to have 2 strong players than just 1 strong player.
Yeah, 1 strong just means more things. Like, the comp that's designed here for TMP, it's mostly Kate, Sylas are going to be the only characters that are strong. Olaf, he got the snowball, so top lane was basically which one snowballed first, and Darius won that. So, it's between Sylas and Caitlyn now, and it looks more like Caitlyn's going to have a lot of pressure because Sylas is just so far behind Kassadin. But there's just so much that can go wrong for Caitlyn. She gets hit by 1 stray Amumu Q, and she's going to die. The stray Zyra root, anything, it's just the whole team can follow up, and that's the entire damage source for their team dead.
They have an insane engage potential, and especially with the Darius being like ahead as he is, it's very dangerous for the tanks to try to...
Oh, we got another all-in top. Ooh, it's looking a lot in Olaf's favor here. He might get a turnaround.
Wow.
He did. That's a 650 gold from that shutdown. Oh boy.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you something in regards to the top lane. I mean, now my question is kind of annulled because he just got the turnaround. I do think it was especially because Darius just had no mana left, so he was a bit disrespectful towards the Olaf power there. But I wanted to ask you, because they did hover, like Mental Papier did hover the Illaoi first. Do you think that would have gone differently this lane with an Illaoi?
It was the Darius that hovered Illaoi, right? Making sure I'm not mixing that up.
Hello.
It's Olaf. Yeah, with the Olaf, it definitely is nice into Darius because it's very hard for Darius to all in you, and even if you do, the Illaoi damage in ult can kind of snuff him out. The main fear with the Illaoi matchup is, 1, Illaoi's not an amazing champion. There's some really good Illaoi players that make it up for that, but she definitely has some great flaws.
By the way, the Darius just paid the Olaf back for his overstaying with Olaf overstaying.
It's the top lane curse, you know? I can't tell you how many games I played where I greeted for, 50 more gold and it cost me everything.
That is a great steal from the Sylas on the Mumu, but I don't think it's enough. No, it is not.
Ooh, almost got Kaisa as well, but even then, Kassadin gets another kill either situation. It's not looking good. They're getting the picks back where they can, but it's just not proving worth it for them right now.
It's still a 3k gold difference, which is very difficult to overcome, plus a dragon on the side of Troglodytes.
There's nothing game-ending yet in terms of plays that are coming up, but it's definitely just the burn for time. TMP's going to have to find something to get them back in the game. They're going to need a really good team player. They're going to need just some crucial picks from someone overstepping.
There's also, that's a big reason why I'm not a big fan of Caitlyn, actually, because if she gets behind once, she's freaking useless, not gonna lie. She's just, as you said, she's easy to pick, especially with their team comp. She got a lot of farm on bot lane, but if she does not have the items, she's just like tickling them. That was, by the way.
Ooh, the Maokai
Yeah.
W chasing all the way over there looked really, really cool, but also got him killed.
That was very
There's
sad
Sylas taking
for
Kassadin for just the flash to get out. Yeah, that's the thing you'll see a lot with Vi. Vi's a really common pick in pro play right now, right? And you'll see her into Zeri. And you'll see Zeri's take her through walls behind turrets when she goes for the ult. And the same thing happened to Maokai there. He was taken under a turret with his W follow. So while it's nice to have that point and click follow, it also can, work out against you, because it can put you in a really bad spot.
And that is a
another kill on
4-0
Kassadin.
Kassadin with a full stacked tier and a Rod of Ages finished. This is
That also
not
might
looking
be
good.
a drag for Troglodytes as well. We don't see Maokai rushing over there, so they should secure that in time.
They
and
have
they don't have
no
vision.
vision with the pink ward being there for a while now.
Looking to collapse some Darius, but he's just leaving out, so they're losing out on more pressure. This is looking really, really bad in terms of TMP.
The gold difference has also jumped up 1k again, so...
Ugh. But yeah, that's the thing with the Caitlyn pick too, is just it's really good in the hands of when you and your team can play it really well, but the issue is it does fall behind really bad. It's something that's set up that it's hard to fall behind, but then if you do, it's just you're not anything anymore.
I think the Maokai tried to reduce the pressure on top lane from the Olaf, but they well, it failed twice, but I do think that I would have rather seen the shift onto the other lanes. I mean, everybody hates like the sentence, you know, losing lanes. Don't gank a losing lane. But in this case, I do think that it would have been better to just prioritize the top lane to the bot lane to try to get the Caitlyn ahead.
Yeah, I mean, with the Olaf as well, like, I mean, all lanes were losing to some part. Caitlyn was the only lane that wasn't behind. And it's definitely as well, like, even if Darius is ahead, as long as Caitlyn's strong and they can stall Darius with, you know, Maokai, Braum, she does shut down Darius, but the issue is there just wasn't the focus on their ADC, and now they can't really do much about it. With the team getting wiped again, all three picked out. It's a 4v4, but again, their gold is just much higher than theirs.
Look at Kassadin finishing his second item. This is Darius as well. They have no chance to compete in a team fight. Maokai going in there, even though the turret is already down, securing the kill for Troglodytes.
I'll be surprised they even pick Cassid anymore this game, because I don't think it's possible. He's got the lifeline from his Archangels, his Rod just make him tankier and tankier, and he's got, you know, Blink on a 2-second cooldown. It's not much that he can be caught out by at this point. They don't have the CC and they don't have the damage to keep him down long enough.
By the way, as we are speaking about the champions being behind, Sylas is also a very rough case. Just because you have to go in. Any AP melee, I think, has a difficult time being behind because you have to go into the enemies and have no easy way to escape. If you don't have enough damage to burst them, you're just stuck.
Yeah, a lot of the AP melees kind of get like one thing they can do when they're behind. Like Diana, it's like she can just ult the team. Yeah. That's it. Then she'll just blow up. You'll get, you know, Sylas, same thing. He can steal an ult, try to make a play, and be utility. But then after that, like, that's all he can do. Mordekaiser, same thing. Like, he can ult someone, take them out of the fight for 7 seconds. And a lot of times he'll get killed in that fight, too. But, you know, sometimes, like, what it takes is just you ult the enemy jungler and then keep them out just in time for his steal. And that's what you fish for to get back in the game. It was interesting, though, because I felt like TMP's draft was quite a bit stronger here, but it's just kind of come down to, you know, they're better at their characters. They got better situations in their favor.
We just saw how easy it was for the Darius to shut down the Olaf right there. It's just a gigantic difference between 2.5 items, or 1.5 items difference.
And that's League bounties working, you know, great magic too. Getting more gold onto people who are already ahead. It's not always a big fan of seeing that mechanic, but it is what the Riot devs have deemed.
I mean, it is kind of the case of playing around it. I do think that the bounties are actually a great addition to the game, because before, I mean, the bounties were added because of the changes to the map. I believe it's so far behind me that I barely remember.
I remember I wasn't there for it. It was just the hope of, like, when you play certain characters that have to go in, it becomes a lot harder to, you know, deny when you get like 700 gold bounties if you're like an engaged character. So it becomes kind of awkward of like you have to go for these engages, but you also don't want to give these bounties. So it makes you end up having to play a lot safer compared to your opponent, even though you're miles ahead. Which at the top level, bounties are like nothing. They rarely come into play. But at lower levels, definitely like, I like the idea of objective bounties. I just hope that it wasn't in conjunction with individual bounties.
Yeah, I think it was just Riot's attempt to their problem, to their snowballing problem they had in the game, to fix it. And it did fix the snowballing problem, but as you said, it's kind of, well, asymmetrical. It's not really the same for all
it does more lower elo games, definitely, where people don't throw bounties as much. But I've definitely seen, you know, even in some mid-tier, high-tier ranked games, people throw those bounties all the time. You'll see, you know, watch any kind of League streamer, and you'll see challenger lobbies where they just throw 3K down the drain over doing something dumb. So it is nice because you do get to come back in the game and it's never over. But on the other hand, it's like you can make less mistakes when you're ahead.
Good move right there, Tipsy. I saw that. But this is just you know,
they picked them out. Caitlyn's running for her life, but again, like there's not much she can do from this position.
I mean, that's
Caston just picks her out.
That flash was a bit ballsy, by the way. I don't think he needed that. But he wanted to get back to the team faster, I guess. Yeah, he's picking up that kill as well. I am really astonished by the teamwork of Troglodytes right here. They're playing very well, just going in, and we just saw the mid lane. They didn't land any engages, and they just fell back. They controlled the vision, set up a trap, and picked them off, picked Team Mantle Papier off when they didn't have any vision.
Olaf's going in for the 1v4, and it does not work in his favor with the Mastery Flash. We love to see it.
Wee! I do think that this game is not turnable anymore.
It's definitely not, and dare I say, that looked like a mental boom play right there, but definitely a kind of last ditch, might as well try because not much left to do. But at this point, it just comes down to, you know, Troglodyte just plays it, you know, relatively safe. It just gets, you know, objective secured. The game's just kind of theirs. They have a Soul coming up in 4 or 5 minutes. They have Baron up. You can just set it up and get it. Caston's hit 16 already.
Oh god.
Yeah, Mountain Soul on Caston. Caston's 4 levels up on Silas. Rod of Ages is an item that was really only created for like 2 characters in the game. That being Caston and Arias, so.
I'm hyped to play it on the new Aurelion Soul. I was an Aurelion Soul main actually. I've got a level
one of the 3?
7. Yeah, I'm one of the 3. And I'm very much hyped for the rework. And I do plan on playing him with a Rod of Ages, so you gotta add him to that roster. I'm pretty sure of it.
I know you can pull it off on certain Kale builds as well.
What? That sounds strange.
Because she does like getting the levels, and she does have AP scaling, but it also just weird because she likes rushing Asher's Tooth so much, and or Kraken, because she just gets so much value from attack speed.
And the thing with Rod of Ages is you do need it very early on.
Yeah, it's like a first item, you kind of have to get it.
Yeah, the Darius is just running it down.
Darius is going for the solo dive on Silas. Ends up getting out Flash and Everfrost, but he did trade his own Ghost for that.
He's just going in for the mid lane now. They are pinging. They might be catching Darius off.
That is the scary part about Darius, though, is Ghost does make you your character late game, and when you don't have that down, it becomes a lot harder to play.
That is a gigantic match, shutdown on the Maokai. I'd rather see it on a carry though, but they have no chance for the rest. They use everything for the Darius.
Yeah, that fight does show the strengths of TMP's team. Like, they did get a lot of value because they were able to fight in a choke, keep Caitlyn, you know, the last one alive, but the issue is just they're so far behind it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Because that's how the fight would look for them, but the issue is just they're too far behind. They can't do anything.
I didn't expect the team Mantle Papier to get rolled so hard. Me as well, because they actually shown how much, how great their team coordination can be in the previous matches. So I'm kind of astonished as well, but I think it does come down to just the matchups in itself with top lane and mid lane. And as well the decision of the jungler to focus on the top lane instead of the bot lane, but that is something we will not see, so...
And coming back to the Zyra play too, Zyra being able to zone off Caitlyn Braum there at that river rotation was really huge for the team.
Yep.
Because what turned a really dicey invade on a Mumu became basically a game-winning play.
And especially with the Kassadin getting the kill there.
Yeah, because Kassadin got killed, he got ahead, and then Silas has never been able to catch that back up. We're seeing still that 4-level gap between the mid laners. 2 levels on jungle, 2 levels top, 2 levels support, and 1 level ADC.
And the Silas is not allowed to go just on the side lane, because the Darius will just come and kill him. Look at that. That's what I was talking about, yeah.
I like how Darius chose to hold his ult there, even though it would have refreshed. He just decided to auto him to finish him off instead.
Maybe he didn't think about it, or he just forgot.
Yeah.
Great catch on the Maokai there.
Yeah. Maokai using everything to try to live, but he's just held in place the entire time. Kaisa just getting free follow-up with her ult. They got Soul coming up in a minute.
And especially like Maokai got the 900 gold shutdown off the Darius, and I just don't think that he can use it better than the Kai'Sa or the Darius. So this is very rough. Or the Olaf, I mean, sorry.
Yeah, and we're seeing the 2 hardest scalers on Troglodytes haven't even died a single time, which on scalers is just, you know, they'd love to have that. They're missing nothing in lane. They're getting full XP, full gold. They are down 60 CS with Kai'Sa, but again, she's just up a bunch of kills. She scales way better.
Yeah, the Caitlyn farm especially well. She has a great farming score the whole game long. But as we said, like 5,000 times by now, it's just 2 ahead. Or 2
I mean,
behind.
that's just what the game is boiled down to. It's just they got really ahead. They had some good early plays, and they haven't been able to find anything to get back in.
And
They can really only force plays with Maokai, and they haven't been able to do anything with that.
Yeah, and we gotta say, at that point, Troglodyte just played it very well. Especially together with the team. The team rotation they did, like catching the mid lane, disengaging a bit to let them step up and then collapsing onto them, securing them like 5 kills, was very well played.
Yeah, and just the emphasis on where everyone was going. Even though Mumu, didn't do too many ganks early, it's just the same thing happened with Maokai. He just didn't path anywhere that made him do anything that helped anyone out. He pathed for top, and then they couldn't even kill Darius, and they had to burn everything to get out.
They didn't even get out. That's the worst part. But with the 3 inhibs down, the super minion's gonna spawn now. Baron is still up.
Yeah, no,
They
after
can
this
just walk
reset,
down.
they should just push and be able to just end. Either if they go all the same lane or if they go separate lanes, either or. Their team really can't stop them. Oh, and we got Cassidy going in on Sylas once again.
Cassidy
Oh,
doesn't
that
even
are
have to
half-healthing Sylas.
Oh my god. He has 4 items, a 2 item difference. He doesn't even have to reset. He's strong enough.
Cassa when, he just got his levels and he gets his game.
That is a level 18 Cassidy. I don't want him in my team. No, I want him in my team. I don't want to go against him. That's what I wanted to say.
Still love finding those solo queue castings. They're like, hey, let's FF, even though they haven't scaled yet. It's like, you're playing a scaling chip and you want to give up? Of all characters.
Oh yeah, that's a classic. Like picking Cassidy in the lane, then losing once against like against a Talon or a Zed early game, and then complaining about like the game is lost. And I'm like, bro, then don't pick Cassidy if you want to melee fight in the mid lane.
Yeah, it's the Dark Seal first item Cassidy that dies twice in 1v1s and then gives up.
It's a classical. You have not played League if you have not encountered that.
You haven't played League until you've done that. You gotta try that out. It's an experience.
No!
You heard it here, folks. You gotta Dark Seal Cassidy and rush. First item.
You're a very bad influence.
Always fight. Always fight.
Oh, there might be a shutdown. Yes. That is
there's the perfect game. He threw the perfect game. Ooh.
That was
all
a
greedy for this
well-played
dive.
game, yeah. I really do
Well
hope that
played.
Mental Papier does not lose the cool over this, because I would love to see the great team coordination coming to shine in the next game.
I know, for sure, and I definitely feel like they still had, if played perfectly, I do feel like TMP had the better draft there, but it just, so many things just worked out in TRO's favor because they just weren't able to get that early tempo that team would have loved to abuse, and the game just kind of was lost from there.
So I'd say we'll do a small break, just organizing the next game and so on. You just like what to call it? Lean back and enjoy it, and we'll see you soon. Okay, welcome back. I'm gonna unmute myself real quick. Welcome back to the game. We're already in the lobby. Everybody is here, so it's gonna be a fast one this time.
Ooh, I need to get in there real quick.
Oh no, you're still left.
Yeah, I've been left, but lobby's full.
Yeah, I had the same problem. Oh no, we're both dilly-dallying.
We gotta shoutcast the game we can't see. There we go. Get me in there.
Yeah, I will not be able to fix the board before we can start, but I'm gonna just improvise real quick. So I'm just gonna give you a straight up. Yeah, there you go. This isn't perfect. Oh wait, no, it's the cup one. Never mind. Okay, guys, we are professional
it's
here.
It's a workaround.
It's a workaround.
The production value is seamless.
Oi, I'm not getting paid, okay?
It's intern work, 40-hour work weeks, 0 pay, but you get college credit.
Oh no, that's wrong. I don't want to see you. Okay, well, now you're seeing my screen. Okay, no. You don't get to see my screen. Dirty.
DJ Sona background.
Well, I have the leak screen splitter. Okay, wait, I have an idea. Okay, yes, a new one. Whole leak screen. Okay, I'm having that soon. Don't panic, guys. Don't panic. Automatic. I'm fine with that. Yes. Just give me the leak line. Oh my god, yeah! Look at that! It's perfect. It's perfect.
And right into the draft.
Ow! Just
now
on
you can
time.
see everything that's picked and banned.
I mean, it's better than just seeing half the cast, I'd say.
You can just for the first game, you can just edit in post. You know, just put the frames in there. It's fine.
I'm predicting a Darius ban, by the way.
I wouldn't be surprised if Darius is out. I also wouldn't be surprised if Caston's out. I don't know if anyone else in the team's worth banning, but they did opt for, you know, there's a Mumu ban, Nami ban, Maokai. So they're just hitting both those junglers from last game.
You're a bit quiet.
Galio as well.
Yeah.
Not letting him play that one trick Galio support. Man, I want to see it. But they're just not letting it happen.
Wait, they have a one-trick Galio support?
I wouldn't say full one trick, but definitely Blade played a lot more Galio than other characters.
Holy shit, I respect them.
I do too. Galio is one of my favorite characters in the game that I don't play that often.
Okay, I don't think that Troglodyte has changed their bans at all, which I do understand because it worked well for them this time. They've actually banned Maokai themselves. I mean, they picked it, like the last time. Mental Papier picked it, but this time they just don't want to play it and don't want Troglodytes to play with it.
Yeah, they just decided, they don't want it. They also just made sure they moves out both, so just both the jungle options are gone.
This is interesting. Counter picking the Kaiser from last game.
Yeah, B1 Kai'Sa pick, definitely just showing the cards of, hey, we want the scaling champ again. That kind of gives bot lane free reign to go for something bullying again, but we saw that didn't work out last time, so they might opt for something else. They're also going for a more scaling bot lane with the range advantage, so that kind of helps them out because they'll have a better time to scale than Kai'Sa will.
I mean, Jinx is always just... I think Jinx is... Well, okay, maybe except from... how was he called? Oh, goddamn. The little void puppy. Kog'Maw.
I can turn myself up, don't worry, I got it.
It's Kog'Maw. It's Kog'Maw, but I mean, Kog'Maw isn't really that he's scaling, but rather that he's utilizing items very well, and he needs a good support too. So I do say that Jinx is the best scaling ADC.
Yeah, no, they're definitely up there. Kog'Maw, the way I had this, I had a conversation with someone before with Kai'Sa Jinx versus Kog'Maw, is Jinx's damage is a lot more backloaded. You get that first pick, and then she starts tearing people apart. Whereas Kog'Maw is more front-loaded, where like he immediately just presses W, he starts just tearing you apart, get the lethal stacked up, and he just goes. And he definitely is a really good answer into tanks. I'd say more so than Jinx, but Jinx can tear through.
I agree.
Squishier teams and/or just fighters way quicker. I can't tell you how many times I've been playing like go Darius, go Aatrox, go some kind of bruiser, and Jinx just melts you in 2 seconds, and you're like, well, dang.
Dang.
So she can be a scary champ when she gets her items. When she gets 3 items, 4. I don't know how good she is at 2 items now, but definitely being able to build Infinity Edge second on her is really good. Because that item makes Jinx like a character.
I absolutely agree. Well, back in the day it was Hurricanes. You never saw a Jinx without Hurricanes, but I do think that they nerfed it, didn't they? Just back in the game, I'm very surprised by the not in Seju pre-pick, because especially because the tanks, they can just like get counter-picked now pretty easily. Tanks are pretty vulnerable right now, and they did not pick the Syndra, and even took it by the chance. They shut down the Sylas, they shut down the Syndra, and they shut down the Kassadin this time.
Yeah, they definitely, both sides have to round out their comp in some kind of way. Definitely with Kai'Sa's team, they're going to need more damage because right now Kai'Sa's their only threat. But they've got a really strong front line that can pick stuff out, but there's also not really any mobile characters that they're going for. Because now it's really good into stuff that, moves around a lot. Zeri, Assassins, all that, because his R just locks them down. But, they have Jinx, Zyra, which are just going to wall out the tanks, and they picked into that too.
Yeah.
So unless they're planning to run this out in a really strong way, it could honestly have been a really rough pick into what this team has. J4 as well, that's going to be really good in denying Nautilus and Sejuani.
I do think that the bot lane is going to have a lot of problems, just with Jinx having this massive range and AoE damage, and the Zyra will just punish the Nautilus if he goes in.
Yeah, no, a lot can go wrong here. They definitely need to get something that helps them access this Jinx, because it's going to be really hard so far to get on them. If they just properly front to back, it's comes down to which ADC just has more gold, and Jinx does outrange Kai'Sa in the early game.
I would have loved to see a Victor here. I'm a bit sad that they opted for Viger this time.
Yeah, Viger's an interesting pick here. This might just be they might be planning to go for just a snowballing lane again, because Viger definitely likes to, stay back and go for that poke, whereas the rest of the team definitely looks more engaged, so the only way he kind of works with that is, he just deletes someone with the Zara. So, maybe they are just going for we're just going to try to, throw Sejar and just immediately burst Jinx and then take the rest of their team. But Jax as a pick as well is definitely nice here. That helps fight the Jinx as well, because she only autos. Jax can just block all that. But Camille into Jax, that is definitely a pretty skill matchup top lane. It can go either or. It depends on how each plays around their E.
Yeah, this is going to be, again, a very interesting battle on the top lane here. I'm not gonna see what's going on bot lane right there. I do think that Nautilus and Kai'Sa just have to play very carefully. If they play a lot with their jungler, I think they have a better chance at succeeding. But the question is, if the Zyra plays it right, will they be able to pull off any ganks?
Yeah, no. With the Zyra Jinx, they should be able to get shoved, get deep vision that Sejuani will have a hard time ganking. But as well, Nautilus just has to find one engage where Zyra can't punish them, and they will take over the lane. It can go either or, but definitely, it seems like it'll be a lot harder for Kai'Sa's side to pull out this game.
I'm also seeing this draft on the side of Troglodytes again.
Yeah, but they've proven us wrong before.
No,
So
other way
we shall.
around. No,
The other way around.
This time it's
Ah,
strong on Troglodyte's side, and last time it was the other way around. I
my
misspoke.
bad.
I'm sorry. And somebody in the chat said that I shouldn't forget the scoreboard, and I'm gonna blow you off your socks soon because I was very smart and did a Scooby-Doo where I can just switch around the teams on my whim, so you don't have to stare at the wrong team now. This at least I fixed. Wee! It'll be in the in-game screen, by the way. You can't see it
Man,
right now.
definitely interesting team. I wonder where the junglers are going to path. I wonder if we're going to see the gold jungle special of go bot to top no matter what, or if we're actually going to see them mix up a bit if they're trying to play for, it's definitely going to be a very volatile bot lane this game, but, if Jax takes over, Camille takes over, it also could just change the game. Because Camille can kind of start exerting split pressure, same thing with Jax, and both teams are going to want to be a lot more grouped, and then those characters will be the only ones that kind of determine what the pressure will be on the map outside of that.
I would really like to see top to bottom from the Jarvan. I don't know if that's possible, but I just love to see the early gang either in mid lane or on bot lane. I don't know if like Camille is also just great to early gank with, but that depends on where the price stands.
Yeah, no, she's a great early gank, but also ganking Jax can be awkward. You have to bait Jax onto Camille before you start that fight, because otherwise he'll just ward hop out. And J4 has his knockup, but after that, like, they have to make sure they hit that. And you'll get a flash into Jax, but you're not going to get that early pick unless Jax really messes it up.
I would just love to see like the early ahead Jinx, because then she's gonna have a much easier time to play it.
Yeah, and if she goes crack and Infinity Edge, and then she starts getting, LDR, she'll start to, tear through that armor before they even get it. And if she just gets that snowball, like, once she gets those 3 items, the game is basically, we have to kill Jinx or it's over. And then if Camille's also doing well, it becomes a very dangerous situation. Because if she gets Divine, it becomes really hard for almost the entire team to fight her solo. So it's going to take more than one person, if Jax can't fight her, to answer her all game if she decides to go on the split.
That is absolutely true. I'm excited to see where this goes. I do hope that Mental Papier is just how the name states, mental prepared. Haha, good joke. No, I do hope to see a comeback from them because, as I said, I want to see their team fight shine. So I'm a bit on their side right now, but I'm so surprised by the strong entrance of Troglodytes, and I'd love to see that flourish as well. So I'm kind of split.
Yeah, no, I'm just excited to be watching games where you don't see Lucian Nami every single time.
Damn, you're not betting? What the fuck is this? Oh, I'm all in for just banning Lucian Nami from this tournament. You'll get my sign right away.
Yeah, no, just the house rule. You don't even waste the bans. Just say it's banned no matter what, and it's a better tournament already.
Oh yeah, it's so much more comfortable for everybody around. It's just such I don't know what they did there, but this is broken. It's just no fun to play against. Like
they did nerf
Lucian
it again,
Nami.
so I don't know how well it stacks up, but I still see it, and I still see success on it. So
yeah, my problem is just that the Lucian Nami combo, like Lucian E's you once, but the Nami E, you're just Half-Life. You can't dodge it. You can't really punish it either because the Lucian still has like 4 spells left. 3, I mean.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you don't expect it to do, your entire health bar in 2 seconds, and then now he does it, and you're like, oh, well, there goes lane, because they're doing that. They got the level 2 first, and they get the wave push. It ends lane off that first kill. It's always a very, very stressful lane that you have to respect if you don't keep that push on top of them.
Okay, we gotta switch around the scores right now, and look at this, how pretty it is. It is correct now, and we gotta add the score on the right side. I'll do that real quick. Score, it goes from a 0 to a 1.
Yeah, looks like both teams are looking for a 5-point, except J4 is not taking middle lane. Oh, they might be going for a kind of collapse in bot river that they're expecting an invade with Nautilus. Definitely looks like TMP just didn't want to go for a dive, and they're just watching all their entrances, and both teams are just getting a calm start. No shenanigans this time.
No shenanigans this time. Sad. I'm a bit sad, especially because Rebane requested a bit more early game skirmishes, and it doesn't really have well, it doesn't really has changed. So I do think that we're gonna see a written complaint of Robane later.
Written complaint. You guys aren't playing the game more interesting. Stop
God
playing to
damn!
win.
Go
Throw the game!
invade!
Throw the game!
Invade! I mean, to be
We
fair,
have 4 enchanters. We don't want to invade. Do it anyway.
do it anyway. We have a Yumi on our team. I don't care. I mean, to be fair, I've lynched Rabane like 10 times now. I don't know how many legs he has left. So let's see if he can run from us. If he ever complains.
How many legs did he have before?
I did not count. I'm sorry. That is a secret he will take to his grave. We can see a good trade on the side of Iger here.
Yeah, they're definitely both getting poked. If whoever can get level 2 here first might be able to just force the other one back.
So you're telling me to just go goddamn bot lane, man. This is... I don't know, the camera is deciding where to go, and it's saying that bot lane is freaking boring.
Ooh, yeah, that's really good on Jax. He got quite a bit of damage there. Camille gets a little bit back with her, grass proc, but her passive shield got no value for her there.
I don't think that you want to trade with Camille level 1, just because, yeah, you want the mobility from your other abilities against that lane. And I'm very
Yeah, you
surprised.
go for the W poke, but there's very few lanes that Camille will go for the level 1 trade, but there are some, and it depends on your spell order as well. There's a couple lanes where Camille can, rush E first in, and she can just kind of run someone down.
Look at this, Jax just getting the trades in.
Yeah,
So
he's
well played.
playing around her passive really, really well. She's getting no value out of her shielding. Ooh,
This Viper
Viger
as
misses
well.
the cannon going for that trade. That's
That
60
hurts.
gold less.
But to be fair, this like
Nautilus
the...
misses the hook engage on Jinx. It clips the minion barely, so he doesn't get that early pick. That could have been a kill or a flash.
At least they got the cannon.
But they did get the farm. They are getting the push.
No, it's not minus
It's not
1,
gonna
it's
hit
minus
turret. Zyra,
46.
Zyra's root keeping it out of turrets, so they're able to stop them from resetting.
Well played. But that's the strength we were talking about with Zyra there. Ah, he got it. The Camille turning it around just with her bulkiness in general. I mean, she did start with shield, orange shield, so we do see its heal property right there, I'd say.
Oh yeah, no, the
Full.
bunch of short trades, you get a lot of value from Doran
Yeah.
Shield. It kind of keeps you in the game for a long time.
I'm very surprised by... Oh wait, the Viger is being outfarmed by the Silas. That is very sad, to be honest. But I'm very surprised by the Viger just proving himself in the short fights they've got. The Silas always runs out with less health than the Viger.
Yeah, no, it's definitely slow things. And again, Silas needs to find something here. He's going for an engage, trying to get this pick on Viger. Catches him after the flash.
That is
The Q,
well
get all the procs.
played.
One more auto. He gets the pick. He's not being outscaled this time. He is
Not this
fighting
time.
for his lane.
Well, you're on the wrong side. That was Team Troglodyte again. That's the custom.
Yeah, but Silas isn't getting outscaled this time. This
Yeah,
is
but-
what you should be doing. You should be getting those fights on those scaling champs.
I mean, maybe he knows that because he did play a scaling champ last game. So it
Yeah,
was
he,
like,
he knows the matchup from both sides, and that's respect to him.
I mean, to be fair, like know your enemy to destroy your enemy. I don't know if that's something you say, but it sounds cool, so I'll go with
It's
yes.
something in Sun Tzu's book. Haven't read it. Really should.
Exactly. Sounds good.
Bunch of
Didn't
quotes.
read
You know,
Sun
you
Tzu.
can just say anything. You just put Sun Tzu after, and no one can prove you wrong. Everyone quotes it. No one's read it.
Perfect. It's just like the manifesto.
Well,
of-
we got the gank coming from J4. See, this is what I was talking about. You have to bait the Jax to go in on you first, but after that, you just get the kill on him.
And that was the Situ gank I was talking about.
Ooh, and the Sejuani
Yeah.
gank and bot getting the Jinx pick. Ooh, both sides made a play opposite sides of the map, and now they've kind of got a different situation going on.
But that was what I was talking about. I'd love to see the Situ gank on the bot lane here, with Nautilus follow-up. Just, they were too far ahead, didn't really have any follow-up by the side of Team Troglodytes, and then they just get catched, because Jinx just does not have the mobility.
There's definitely a lot more action this game. Definitely a lot more, fighting happening early. Not just, top being the only lane that's gotten fights, and everyone else just waited till we got one invade that set the game in motion.
That is a level 6 Silas. I don't know if you want to fight that. That hurts.
Ooh, Viger missing the W on the Silas there is going to cost a lot of damage there, but I don't think he can get any kind of lethal pick here. Goes with the Sejuani ult, catches out Viger, get the knockup from J4. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. He doesn't have flash to get out. Ooh, and there goes Viger again, picked twice.
Well
Ooh, mid lane
played.
is not looking good.
Well played by Timsy here. I'm really enjoying his his jungle performance, just in the last game, this game as well. He's just there. Like if he's there, he's just playing it very well.
He's definitely performing early jungle. Ooh, the Raptors leashed. Reset.
Yeah, you gotta be very mindful of that with the new changes. They just reset so like dramatically fast. And what do you know what really annoys me?
What's that?
Yeah, I'm gonna tilt about this as we see them take break here. Like they changed the jungle aggro, right? I'm like a jungler, and I really do love kiting the jungle camps, as I always say. I'm kiting the jungle creeps. So I was a bit disappointed by them just dumbing that aspect down. But the worst part is, like, if you kite the big minions, they just reset automatically. Like, if you leave the ring for like 2 seconds, they are just like, nope, bye.
Yeah, the leashing's painful, and also, you know, as any kind of laner, and I know a lot of ADC players gripped about it, and as well as top, especially when I mean, either blue or red side is just you, especially Gromp healing being removed, is you as a laner just can't take that anymore, and it always made, you know, top side, blue side was always a lot stronger because of that, and red side, bot side got value from that as well, because you could just get that heal, get those resources, and stay in lane longer. But that's just kind of been removed because you don't get that healing from Gromp anymore. And you basically need lifesteal as a laner to take camps.
Absolutely, I agree, but now comes my gripe. The freaking small minions, yeah, the little shitheads that follow
Oh, Jack's
the
ult wasted on that Camille engage.
That as well, but this is what I'm talking about, is much more... No, it's not.
sorry, the action happened, how to get to that.
The small damn minions, they follow you until you're home, into your bed. They do not care, they do not reset. They will follow you, you know, you're just walking away to reset, to recall, and they just, you know, every other big buff, like the blue buff, would have just resetted like 5 times already. And the big small minions are like, no, my legs are short, but my commitment is strong, and they just follow you into hell.
Yeah, no, you call the police and you like help it being stalked, and they come over and they just see a couple small raptors, you know, following you around. What do you do about that? Camille's zoning off Sejuani from her camp, getting pressure.
Yeah, that was a good move by the Camille.
Viger's getting some rotation, helping, you know, Sejuani out, but it looks like it's get back to lane because Silas is starting to pressure it.
I mean, just slowing the Sejuani down is already a big book for the enemy, like for the enemies. Oh, that was, well, I think it was running out, wasn't it? It looked interesting.
It's also just trying to get more plays for Camille, because, you know, top lane can become a lot of, you know, you just kind of push in a big wave and back off, and you need to find ways to, you know, influence the game outside of just pushing your wave over and over.
They were trying to get a pick here, but the Nautilus was just too...
Yeah, Nautilus went for an engage, and Zyra stuffed it out, and Kai'Sa went back in. J4 shows up. She has to flash. Ooh, she gets ulted. Her ult takes her just out of the ult field, and she's able to survive, but that is a lot of things used to try to live there.
It was well played by the Kai'Sa, though. Well, the problem is just that the Nautilus was just too low. He wasn't able to tank all the damage from the Jinx and Zyra.
For sure, for sure. It's a punishing engage. He has to be very smart about when he goes in, because it can go really, really wrong. But well played with the Kai'Sa. That's how you know someone plays Kai'Sa, is when they know to instantly use her R to kind of get out of those sticky situations. Whether they're hopping over a jungle wall or they're getting out of a J4 ult, it just shows, you know, I know my character and I know how to get out of these situations.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. I have no fucking clue, man.
Nah, I don't play Kai'Sa enough either for that stuff.
I mean, I do play her, I just don't know.
Looks like TMP is going for the Rift play. They're getting this secured and try to get some gold back on the map. Looks like they're planning to use it top lane. Ooh, Viger Cage on the Silas. We get a fight starting here, but he is 2 levels up on the Sejuani. Viger has to take the long walk around the wall, but Jack shows up. Sejuani ult comes out. He's forced to flash. They're going back in. J4 has arrived. Nautilus gets the root. Ooh, early ult on the Viger. Silas gets out, catched by the wall again, but Viger is low on mana. Can't finish up the Silas. J4 gets picked. There you go. Jinx ult whiffs the entire fight. That could have been a triple kill from that ult alone. Silas barely lives once again. Resources are almost all down on TMP. No more mana to keep fighting. And health is looking low across the board. The only pick ended up being J4 there. That fight could have gone way differently. Just a few things went slightly off.
Very sorry if there's meowing in the background. My kitty just came to visit me.
You gotta add the cat cam to the stream.
Oh, true. Cat cam, please. Soon.
Increase viewership by 500%.
We're playing League with a cat cam.
Camille's slow pushing in. She's probably either going to take a reset or she's going to go look for a play here, get a plate. Yoon Jack's fights her, he can't get too much damage because Camille just backs off and the minions are just going to, you know, start chipping away at his health. Jinx getting plates as well. Sejuani's low under turret. Sylas is invading. I like these rotations from mid lane. Definitely kind of putting pressure on the enemy team. But he's in a sticky situation with all 4 members of TMP now looking to get on top of him and kind of punish him for this play. But I don't think they're going to catch him on the way out. I think Viger just spotted him there. They get a fight on that. There's no help from jungle anytime soon. Looks like he just gets out with Cage. But definitely a positive health trade that kind of forces Viger to be a lot safer.
Yeah, I feel like that that the mid laner is very confident on his champions that he's playing. It's just great to see.
But she's got great understanding of just his role and understanding what he needs to do in each matchup, and it's definitely been interesting to watch because he went from something that was a lot more passive and ended up getting really, really strong, and then he's now going something that's a lot more aggressive, and he's exerting a lot more pressure than we saw in Sylas the other game, played by the other team. And he goes for the solo dive too. Might die because of Cage, but that is still... Ooh, barely lives a health. So Sejuani gonna hop the wall. Ooh, the pick. The W keeps him alive. Can he get out?
Never.
Ooh, E stalls. Ult will kill him. Ooh, Jinx whiffing the rocket, but we still get the pick on Nautilus by J4. Kaisa gets out once again.
I love seeing those Jarvan ganks though. It's just getting the Jinx ahead. It's such a fat Jinx. It's just so much fun to play. You feel like, you know, do you know this minion farming simulator game where you just stand there and farm minions? Yeah, that's a fat Jinx.
The minions look like people, but you know, they feel like minions.
It's basically the same.
It's definitely like once she gets ahead and there's no one to rival her, it kind of just becomes a horror game for everyone else because Jinx just starts throwing his rockets on you. You just start melting.
Yep.
There's the point about talking about Camille, even though like Sejuani's on her, the damage trade is insane. But you know, Jack's getting back on. She's opted to fight the 1v2. Ooh, very close. She almost pulled that off, but I think a little bit too little damage. Some abilities just not placed properly, and it didn't get quite enough on Jax. But definitely could have pulled the pick for pick there, but she also could have ran. But I respect, you know, the attempt to fight there.
I respect the attempt, but bonk on the head for the greed.
Greed is good. Greed is good.
She might have been. She also very reset the E very rapidly. She might have been able to play around with her cooldowns a bit more, but well, we'll see that later, I guess. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's definitely a play that I wouldn't say was awful. She could have gotten a lot there.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Triumph, if she has Triumph as well, she would have gotten the heal, and she could have, you know, pulled it back into Sejuani as well, because the amount of damage that Camille gets off when she has Divine Sunder against the tank and the healing, it's just unplayable for Sejuani to deal with by herself.
Yeah, this game for Sejuani is rough anyways. I mean, she just have follow-up with the Jax and the Nautilus, she has great potential there. But it's just that they
another engage on the Viger. Ooh, Cage tries to stall for a bit, but there goes the J4R. Gets the pick on J4, but Sylas gets to live, and Sylas is definitely able to fight off Sejuani as well. Looks like she's just going to try to kite him out. They're still fighting, but we got Camille on top, Jax lane. Jax uses the ult, tries to engage on Camille. We're back on Sylas fighting Sejuani. Can't watch a single fight for too long. Looks like Sejuani just hops wall. Camille got out top lane, and now we're looking at bot.
I just wanted to say, not really your fault if they are just all over the place.
Okay, watching Camille and Jax fight, and it's Sylas again, and it's Camille and Jax, it's Sylas again. We are a dicey situation. This is a attempted dive for Jax. He does get the pick, and he does get out.
But again,
the
Camille just using her E instantly on the Jax. I think she would have lived there if she E in the opposite direction instead of into the Jax. Might have been a mistake on her part.
Spell usage definitely could be a little bit better, but as well, just staying under turret that low health is always so risky with the way pushing in, because, you know, jungle shows up, anything happens, it becomes really risky. Like here as well, Jax staying too long once again. It was very risky. He might be able to hop out with the ward and live, but looks like the fight's going to happen. Sylas fighting mid lane, gets picked by Sejuani. And we also get the pick from, J4 here, but he almost died.
That was very close. By the way, a lot of ages on the Sylas. This is very interesting. I'd say he's opted for that because he's gonna be, like most of the time, he's gonna be in their 3 melee champions. So he opted for the sustainability build.
It helps him be more durable, as well as his entire team, like Jinx and Camille, both scale really heavy. So it kind of just helps him stay on par with. He has a lot more late game from Rod. It kind of helps him, you know, stay on par with his team, sort of falling off a little more, even though Sylas scaling is not awful in any way.
Especially because the potential picks he has on Viger and Kaisa, both are being pretty immobile. I mean, Kaisa does have her dash, but even still, she is pretty immobile, so I don't think he needs the Everfrost for Well,
You know, there's a lot of lockdown combined with J4, Camille, and Zyra that he doesn't necessarily need ever for us. But you know, more never hurts. It is
honest,
definitely, it feels a lot better to land all of Silas's moves when you can root them by yourself.
There comes the pick of the Nautilus. The question is, do they have enough damage? The exhaust really. Oh,
both supports get picked here, but Jinx does get, you know, excited, and that kind of becomes really hard for Kai'Sa to deal with because the attack speed difference is just insane.
Yeah, I'd say that the exhaust just broke Kai'Sa's neck there. She needed 3 more auto attacks to the heal as well. She needed 3 auto attacks to kill that Zyra off indefinitely, and in that time the Jinx just whittled her down. Not much she could do there.
Yeah, even with the ult dodging Zyra ult, it just, you know, wasn't enough. Not else rooting Zyra and then ulting Jinx, you know, it's all the damage that Kai'Sa would be taking, but there's just more damage coming out from Jinx than from her.
Look at Team Troglodyte just already, like, again, collapsing on Team Mental Papier. Just very coordinated.
It's definitely more of a engage focused comp, so you see a lot more aggressive plays, which is a lot more action than last game.
Rebane happy noises.
They're showing that, you know, either or they have a lot more expertise in just pulling off these things right now than the other team does.
I'm so proud of you guys.
J4 does get picked, but Jack's left in kind of a sticky situation. If Camille can get an engage on him, or he's able to hop out, then we might be able to see a pick here. There we go. There's the R. He can't hop out. Held in by the wall.
And to be fair,
and Sylas gets the pick. Jinx Rocket missing a team fight for the 3rd time.
Shame on her.
We love seeing it go right on by.
You know, our jungler went to the Smite bootcamp. Jinx will get to the old bootcamp. But we just went like the gold before these fights were pretty much even, and Team Troglodyte just really turned it around with great picks. Like, getting it up to a 3k gold difference.
Ooh, Jinx walking in the cage and getting picked by Nautilus there. Doesn't get her killed as they go for the counter dive with Sylas. Able to pick that off. Zhonya's resets turret. Jinx is going to get excited off this turret. Is she going to rush him down? Camille goes for the engage.
And with
might see a pick of Sejuani here.
The Sylas is just much
ult used on Nautilus ults Camille to keep Sejuani alive. Well played. Jax teleports in, goes and gets the pick on Camille. Fight turning in their favor. They're also going to get Sylas here, it looks like. They're going to get Sejuani root with 1 more auto. There goes the smite. There's the pick. A lot of money on Jax right now. Ooh, that TP really turning everything Jax fair. That is several shutdowns onto Jax. Then we got a bot lane fight going here with J4 Kai'Sa. Jungle versus ADC. She gets 1 more proc. Ooh, there she goes. Her passive and Kraken proc getting her just out of that fight.
And they turned it around very well.
A lot just went in TMP's favor there. That teleport and that solo pick with Kai'Sa will put a lot more gold on their table. The gold is back to even. And Rift is getting some turrets here. And they can secure the drag. They got a lot off that fight.
The Jarvan really greeted with his ult there. I think if he used it earlier, he could have kept the Kai'Sa in check more. I'm a bit surprised by that decision. And as well, the Sylas. That's I'd like to address that because the Sylas just in the top lane fight. First of all, it was very well played by him up till the Zhonya's, but then the Jax from behind came. He tried to fight it out of there, and he saw that the Jinx and the Zyra were kind of low and were falling back. And I think it would have been better for the Sylas to just stay and fight. Even like it was a lost fight at all, like 100%, but he dragged the Jinx down with him.
I definitely like when he, after the Zhonya's proc, I also think just, you know, if they secured the turret and just backed off as a team, they were up for that play.
The Jinx was not ready to engage there. Yeah, she didn't follow.
Jinx was hovering back and didn't follow immediately. As well as if she followed up immediately as well, it could have gone in their favor. But they're just kind of a desync on the team right there on what they wanted to do. Definitely a problem that can be fixed, you know, just communicating with your team and making sure, hey, like, after, you know, this turret falls, are we backing off? Are we going in?
So I'd say this was a great TP on the side of Mental Papier, but also a big misplay on the side of...
Yeah, no, Jax punished their overextend really well with that teleport and got a lot of gold on it. And we just need to make sure that Jax, you know, spends this money well and is able to influence with that, you know, 1,500 gold he just picked up for his team.
I mean, God Drinker on Jarvan does make sense for the team fights, but it's also because he got the God Drinker. No, it's not the God. Wait, though, yeah, it is a God Drinker. Instead of the Eclipse, he has not really the power to 1v1 the Kai'Sa, I'd say.
Yeah, no, he can't go for solo picks on Kai'Sa. It helps him definitely deal with, you know, the beefier targets and stay in as a main engage. But it also means that, you know, if he's ever fishing for those solo picks like earlier on Kai'Sa, it's not worth it for him because it's not going to work in his favor. as we saw earlier. Sylas also getting the pick on Viger, using his own ult against him and grabbing out bot lane, helping shift a little bit tempo back towards Troglodytes once again. This is anyone's game right now.
That is true. I'm very hyped to see how it is going. It is a bit rough for the Camille because she didn't get one kill on top lane. Jarvan got both of them. So she's pretty far behind now.
Yeah, no, as long as she gets her Ravens, though, she should scale pretty hard and still be a kind of roaming threat, because while Jax can fight her a lot more on the push, she does have a lot more mobility to rotate to a fight than he does.
Camille just has a
as well
lot of
she
utility.
has TP up, and Jax does not, so, you know, there's a little more influence for the next couple minutes. Looks like a fight may be brewing up here. People are getting positions. Sylas with the TP gank gets the engage on Sejuani. They're going to go full in for the tank front to back, just like Jinx would like. Ult onto the Kai'Sa. Sylas uses Sejuani ult on Sejuani. Jinx is excited, mowing them down. Jax engages, does not get the stun off on Jinx. Jinx is going to start melting down that team. Sylas gets his Zhonya's off once again. Viger, you know, caught by those Jinx rockets, just being melted. And that's 3 picks for the team, and only J4 dying on Troglodyte's side.
Well played by the Troglodytes, just engaging on the Sejuani. They needed a bit longer than was comfortable for the Sejuani, actually. I was a bit afraid.
Yeah, no,
normally
going for the tanks, you know, not what you want to do, but when you have a Jinx and you have all this, you know, anti-tank damage with your team, doing that just, you know, helps set you up and melt down the rest of the team, because you saw, like, Viger he lasted 3 seconds being shot by Jinx there and just was gone.
Absolutely. Just getting the Jinx excited to play it like back right there was the right decision. But Sejuani tanked a lot. Oh.
See, even Kai'Sa going for those picks on Jinx. Ooh, she barely lives. That is huge for Troglodytes. Being able to keep the ADC alive with just that little health and getting one more pick and being able to back off this team was really good. Kai'Sa and Jax fished really hard to get that pick on her there, but it just wasn't enough. Viger using TP to protect top turret. Normally wouldn't be worth it, but with the Sejuani in position, it kind of sets up a gank, but they aren't able to get it off, and that's kind of a wasted TP with that play.
That was a very, very, very close e-call on that Viger. Holy damn. That Sylas
Yeah, if that cage was a little more to the left, the Sylas would have been picked there, but he squazzed right through. Sucked in his gut and just, you know, shimmied on by.
And I sucked in his butt, sucked in his gut, and just scrambled through.
Like Sylas says, no more cages. He doesn't want to be back in those.
I mean, I don't think... Well, yeah, he got stuck once, but anything else, he's playing very well around those Viger cages, as far as I've seen. He just stays in the middle. The Viger as well, he places it on top of himself, which is a good choice, especially if you want to just walk out of there. But the Sylas just gets off his abilities before the Viger can even walk out of his own cage. So
yeah, no, and Dutchy's just used to Zhonya's has been really good as well. He's been able to like get this pressure, split up their team to let, you know, Jinx melt down a single target while the rest of them are focused on Sylas, and then he's Zhonya's and they can't kill him. We'll see here again. There comes out the Zhonya's. So now, you know, Jinx got free damage. Sylas flashes out, gets to live. Jinx flashes to the Nautilus Hook, barely. Camille in the middle of all the action, gets the ult off, pick on Viger. We see, you know, team split up half and half. Jinx gets the pick. It's looking really, really bad for TMP once again. Jax trying to salvage it, jumps into 3 Zyro plants. You don't want to be in that situation. More and more damage marked out. We see another Zhonya's pop off on Jax. We see Jinx just running down the team. Another reset on Jax, and then she's just going to run down Kai'Sa with that move speed. Ugh, Jinx is just getting all these autos off, and Sylas is just pulling so much pressure with those Zhonyas.
This Sylas is making very big plays, with just being there and diffusing the whole situation.
Yeah, dude, she's just playing really well here. Really, just the mid and jungle prio that was in this early game has just set the team up so well. And just the lack of being able to get on Jinx because of Zyra and Sylas diving backline has made it really, really rough for TMP this game.
I did see something though that kind of creaks me, but it is a nitpick because they won the fight overall. That is something that sometimes happens with ADCs. They just like, oh, tank, I go brr, you know? And I'm as ADC, so I can say that. I'm allowed to say that. But there was, the Jarvan got the Kai'Sa. She was completely isolated from the rest of the enemies. The rest of the team from the Jarvan was like, yeah, that's a nice tank you've got there, and was just, you know, clopping on their tank. I think they were punching the Nautilus, as far as I remember. And the Jinx would have just had to like walk one step to the left and just auto-attack the Kai'Sa twice.
Oh yeah, definitely. When you're in range to hit a squishier target as AC, you always want to go for it. But as well, like, you know, Jinx especially just loves, you know, a target's a target, and as long as they can get a pick on someone, they're happy. But
that's
if
why
you
I
do
said
have
it's
a
an
higher
FP.
value target, always go for it, even if it's like a small step over. Now, if you have to like dive an entire team to hit them, of course you don't hit them. You just go for the tank. But
Just keep in mind, like, keep an eye out for their carry as well, and especially if your teammate just got them isolated, turn around. Leave your other teammates to, like, peel you.
see, Jax engage on Camille. Camille is up a level, but Jax does have the tools to fight her.
Wait,
She does
how
get a
is Camille
full second
up a
Q
level?
and gets out.
Damn. She's just been
And we
farming.
got the Baron pressure going. Silas looking to zone once again, playing as a frontliner for his team. That Rod tank durability really showing. We get the Jax TP coming out. Camille stops the TP, so it remains a 4v4 for the team. We get to watch Camille solo pick Jax. We see Nautilus ult come out and Jinx, but no one's there to follow up. Jinx gets the pick on Nautilus. She starts burning through Sejuani. Silas just staying on top of them. He's too tanky for them to kill. And once again, going in on the Viger. Getting him E second cast, and Jinx Rock comes in. There's the rocket landing, and that is almost a full team up with Kai'Sa barely living, but nothing she can do.
Finally. Okay, she does not need a boot camp. She has been redeemed. The Jinx redeemed. Yeah, I'd say. Team Metal Papier had a very great team fight pick early on the team, but now three team fights in, Team Troglodyte is just more coordinated than ever, knowing how strong they are, playing it like a fiddle. Very proud of them.
No, even with TMP's ADC being like the highest rank in this lobby, team's just not playing for him properly, and we see Jinx getting a lot more value than Kai'Sa's been getting, just because the team's kind of setting up situations that are just way more favorable for one than the other.
I do agree on that. I am
because Jinx, every time she's been pressured by Nautilus ult, there's been no one to follow up, so she's just been able to just tank that and then go right back to doing her job.
She just stands there. By the way, something that I've noticed earlier, that Bloodthirster, I'm a bit sus on that. Let's talk about it. I'm a bit sus on that Bloodthirster.
She's definitely losing a bit of damage by rushing that, because she could have Infinity Edge already, B3 items, getting a bunch more crit damage. But it also makes her, a lot tankier, so if Jax does get on her, she can kind of, sustain a lot of his autos and get on.
Do you know where my problem lies? Shield Bow, not Shield Bow, I mean Bloodthirster isn't as tanky as it was before. It gives you a small shield and the lethality or the lifesteal, not lethality, the lifesteal does give you a bit of health back. The problem with Bloodthirster is, if you have no damage, you don't heal for shit.
Oh, for sure. She's definitely getting a lot of damage, and I do feel like, Infinity Edge would be, a lot more damage for her here. But also doesn't seem to be making too much of a difference. Just, those small things that could help you in a lot closer games. But we just see the whole team wiped here. Jinx autoing all of them. The Rockets, Baron buff, minions pushing in. This just could be the game ended. They might not respawn in time to hold their base. GG coming out from the Nautilus. He does not seem like he's seeing it. We see the DCs already. Base is just being ran down. Jinx, excited from turrets, is just going to mow through the base.
Well played.
One last good fight like that's all it takes to just end up the game. And, Jinx just gets the reset all game. 12 kills on the board. Zyra, keeping up. Silas and J4 setting up all these fights, and Camille doing her job as well, keeping pressure on Jax. Well played by Troglodytes. 2-0, showing, scaling and aggressive. They can pull off both.
Whoops. I'm so professional. Whoopsie boops. No one saw anything. Okay. This was the game, and with this, the winner of this series is Team Troglodytes. Very well played. Thank you for those games. That was very gripping.
That was well played. Well played.
So, let's see. I'm probably sure that we want the interview, right? I mean, maybe Rebane wants to just come in real quick as our interviewer. And maybe one of the team players.
Was that an upset game? Because it sounded like everyone was expecting the other side. Hello, hello.
Oh, okay, somebody's here. Hello, Titas. Okay, we can do it. Oh, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
My Discord was lagging,
Oh, it might be, but we're hearing you loud and clear. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, then let's just start with the general. I'm not prepared for this interview, so I apologize for being a bit confused.
I didn't know this was happening, I'm gonna be honest.
I was prepared. I thought Rebane would do it. Well, it doesn't matter. Titus, welcome, welcome. You have to excuse me. For what team were you playing?
I'm playing for Troglodytes. I was the top lane.
Oh, I'd love to hear that. Okay, the first game. Talk about it. That was stunning to see.
You know, at the first, like last series, it was like close kinda, but our team didn't perform that well. Like I managed to one game, but today we swapped with teams, and he said he was practicing jungle. So I was like, okay, maybe he'll today show us some good performance. I'm proud of him because he played quite well, I would say, with Tamumu and Jarvan compared to last series. In the first, like, we just said that our bot lane, just be careful, play safe because they have a master. But, at top, I'm not sure how I just stomped that, Olaf, because I'm kinda drunk. So,
You know, a lot of the early plays were very close, but you got that lead, and then like both Darius and Olaf just snowball like crazy, and you kind of went back and forth. And you
yeah.
got picked the one time because you were there a little longer, low mana, and he got that one pick on you. But then he greeted right back, and you were able to pick him right back and just turn it back again in your favor. And
Yeah,
even then, when you got ganked, you just were so up so much health and Olaf that they couldn't actually pick you there with the Maokai.
Yeah, I think that one pickup where I died, I think I was pushing and then he came and I got killed because I didn't have I think Ghost was like 20 seconds and then my ult I think was 10 seconds. So maybe I could have killed, but
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
it
just
was
the
too
timing
it's
late
was
my fault.
unfortunate.
anyways. And you were
It's just my
ahead.
fault.
I mean, it's small things, but again, like you turn it right back around because then he was caught too far up, you got him again, and then you were able to get your pressure back going, and you just taken over that game.
Yeah.
So you do think that like Timsy's performance today was your highlight of the team, probably because he just improved by that much?
Yeah, I mean last series he wasn't doing well. At least last game, the last game of the last series he was like I think 111. But today I mean even his ganks, he came where he needed to come. He even like somehow helped bot to win their bot lane matchup against Master, so I'm really proud of him.
Oh
We
yeah,
are
all his ganks,
also so
they
proud of
pick
him, yeah.
they pick support every time, but again, like it just made it that Kaisa just couldn't do anything. She was always kind of just on the back burner, and Jinx just would get these small gold leads from all that jungle attention, and she was able to just kind of take over the game, and like they couldn't even get on her.
Yeah, I said
Yeah,
multiple times that I'm proud of him. It's just I watched the first game as well, and I'm very proud of him to just see him improve in his decision making as well. Even when he got like caught at the blue buff with the Mumu, he waited for the team before going in, and that was a big difference that I saw. Because that way you secured the kill and just got the mid lane ahead as well. Well played.
yeah. My team was kinda like arguing maybe that Maokai deceit because I think he stood for like 5 seconds just AFK.
Oh yeah,
Like
no, we saw Makai was AFK for a few seconds, bot river. We were asking about that if something was going on because he just wasn't moving for a few seconds and then got picked.
We didn't
yeah, I
get any
think
information though, so we do not think that was the case.
I mean, our mid said like if he decide, then they should just pause, but they didn't pause, so I guess it was maybe intentional. I don't know.
He wanted to confuse you, play Shaco.
Got a text
Yeah,
from his Discord kitten how to respond.
Oh
It's
yeah,
no.
just it's priorities.
Oh no! Well, then the first game we spoke about. The second game was a bit closer, wasn't it? Especially the turnaround they had.
yeah. The second game, I was doing pretty fine at top lane, but then uh, I haven't played a lot of Camille lately, so I kind of like played only one game I think this season at Camille, and I haven't played a Jax. I most of the times ban Jax against when I play Camille, but I haven't played it like a lot against Jax. So like I thought that I win when I get my Divine Sunder, and then he got two, but I guess I just needed to buy Executioner so I could win. The early stage I was pretty fine. I was pretty fine that I could solo kill him. But then after Divine, Camille is like huge power spike when she gets her mythic. I thought I could win against him, but I guess I not. And I just like inted I think 2 or 3 deaths. But
Yes, I
Yeah,
then
think.
Jax Camille's a very skill-based matchup because both have just answers to each other's kits. Because he can dodge your Q2, you can kind of avoid his leap and his dodge if you use your E right. So it can go back and forth, and it really comes down to just each player and how they use the kit against each other. But you did have a really, really good pick on when he was TPing to the Baron play towards the end of the game. You were able to stop him and pick him there, which was a huge play for your team.
I was
yeah,
so
I was
excited. I watched the mini map because I saw you seeing him teleporting, and I was like, "Yeah, Titus, go for him!"
Yeah, I mean, I was saying that I should go bot, and then I went bot. I saw Jax, and I thought that he will have TP. I instantly went to trade so he could be lower, because then I watched that my team is like going for a fight, and then just Jax falling back. So like it's just like you
It's
know
very
that he's going
telegraphed,
to
yeah.
TP, So I just followed, and then I just see he's just teleporting on ward, and I just easily picked him up.
Clip worthy still. I'm
That's
very
the one you
impressed
put
by
on
it.
your resume to join T1, you know?
Yeah.
That's the play right there.
Okay, it's time to kick you out because we've got a new guest coming. Thank you very much for staying with us and
Okay.
channeling
Thank you
your
for having
inner
me.
Gragas. As the support of
Let's
Team Mental
support.
Papier will be joining, so yeah,
Vas-y.
there he is. Oh god, you're very loud.
The Brahma Nautilus. Hello.
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 How are you?
So
We are
far,
good,
so
thank you.
good. Thank you very much for asking. But how are you after those 2 losses?
Well, first time two loss, first loss, but no, we we know we errors. Sorry for my English. We make some big mistakes in early in the first game. Topside, we just lose the game on topside. Then how to say it? Yeah, first game was what we can make some good move on with the bot lane, but it was too hard. The game was winnable. I think more the first than the second, but we need to try more to play both side next time.
Take
Yeah,
your
that's
time,
something
by
we
the
were
way,
noticing
don't,
a
don't
lot was,
stress. Yeah.
there was some focus that was going a lot more towards top when, like, bot, especially game one, like Caitlyn, that comp's designed to, like, you want to get Caitlyn ahead and you just want to, like, take turrets, siege everything and just snowball off that, but there really wasn't much attention shown to the bot side and kind of
Yeah,
made it awkward because, you had Darius that was really fed and you just didn't have the damage to answer him or anyone else in the
yeah.
team.
And Darius in the early game is so strong. The first
And then,
duel.
game two, what do you think definitely would have helped, that one be more in your favor? Because that one seemed a lot more even gold-wise for most of the game.
Yeah, the first, in the second, we need to abuse both side. I think if they pick Jinx and which was the second
It was
one?
Jinx
The
and
second
Zyra.
Yeah, Jinx Zyra. We pick Nautilus and Kesa. We need to run to run at three with Sejuani bot. They play really safe. That's how they need to play, and we need to go hard on this bot lane to make some difference, because we know in the first game we see the top and the mid was good, but the bot lane we can make some. I think we can play better in the second game if we abuse in the end of the bot lane. I think it's really winnable.
Yeah, I do
But
find it a bit sad because I saw your great team coordination of your team the last few
yeah,
times you played, and this time you didn't really get to shine because you were just too far behind at the time the team fights went. So
yeah,
I'm very
yes.
hyped to see for the next match against Schraubenzieher für Ehre to maybe let you shine again.
Yeah, I think that's why too we there was not our jungler, our first jungler, and the synergy was different. We can see it,
Yeah.
the call and all the moves between the first, not the first game, but the first day. There is so difference in these two junglers, in play style and call, that all the
Yeah,
all
definitely something, working with new people too, is you will make sure, like, you guys all know, like, hey, well, who are we playing for this game and all that.
yeah.
Because it definitely, you both your drafts seem to be in favor of, you want to have a
Mm,
strong bot side, and then it ended up not playing out that way quite a bit.
yeah.
thank you so much for joining us here. I wish you
thank you.
best of luck because I do be very enjoying your games as well. I'm rooting for you
Thank
for
you.
the next fight, and we say
Yeah.
us then.
Yeah. See you in the next game.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So with this, well, are there any closing statements from you, my dear co-caster?
I do think I gotta say, so a lot of good plays from Troglodyte's mid laner. Dutchy really just exerted so much pressure that game. It helped their team, have a lot of breathing room for a lot of things. And like, when he's playing aggressive, he was getting rotations, pressure on the enemy jungler, pressure, on ganks, roams, and then on Caston as well. Like he even had good rotations on that when he was playing a character that was going to be a lot more, slow and behind. So just kind of showing the strengths, mid lane especially. That's what I have to say. It's probably one of the just strongest players that they had for these two games. Was just able to exert so much for his team and just get the ball rolling for them where they want it to go. As well as like, just everything like laning on, top and bot was solid pretty well for that team as well. And jungle definitely more action second game than the first game, but definitely, he was where he needed to be, causing, that kind of split in the team, getting, Jinx her picks off and just moving on. So it was really, really well played by that team overall, I gotta say. It was a lot of clean stuff.
Yeah, I hope I don't go against Dutchy, not gonna lie. I'm a bit afraid of him. Just overall, I do think that, Pudgy just said it, like the supporter of Team Mental Papier, the loser here in this series right here. It was just a bit sad to see that the bot lane was just forgotten that much. And I say that with a bit of sarcasm because I, as a jungler, I tend to ignore bot lane just completely. But
Really
it is.
It's such a strong lane.
I know.
It's such a strong lane.
To be fair, it's in solo queue, so there you can just ignore it. They won't.
Oh
be,
yeah, don't trust solo queue ADCs. They're not real.
Yeah, no, don't. But it is very important to just set up the goal like right from the start, right from the draft. If you pick something like the Caitlyn, she's just freaking useless if you do not play around her. So I do hope that they just pick that up and polish it for the next game, so they can get back in to the series.
And for any team too, it's like you guys want to know like when you're loading in, like, hey, what lane is probably going to be pushing in, who's going to have the prio, and where jungler should be going. Like your entire team should be knowing, hey, jungle is going to be in my lane at 3 minutes.
And please,
unless something happens.
As a jungler, don't
before
cry.
The game even starts.
Don't freaking cry when your Kassadin mid lane against Xerath has no pressure. Let the poor Kassadin be.
Yeah, you have to understand, like, hey, like if your top's Kale and your mid's Caston, they're gonna be pushing a turret. They're not gonna be able to rotate. So like it's a lot of times like you either plan to split the map bot side or something, or you just have to give up your top jungle and get invaded because your team's just not gonna come help you. They can't. Because what happens then is they come to rotate, the enemy just leaves, then your Kale and Caston now lost like 2 waves, and now they're not gonna scale. So it's just stuff like that, just understanding, what's our identity, what are we trying to do to win. Especially like Caitlyn comps, Caitlyn is your team when you pick Caitlyn. Same thing with like, Zeri, all that stuff. Is when you pick those characters, it's just kind of like this is our team, and you have to play for that because Caitlyn behind, she can do a little bit of damage, but you basically have to assume that everyone else on your team can just carry without her if you ignore her. And
Absolutely.
we just didn't see that happen the first game.
Thank you very much for rounding off this podcast, and cast. Thank you very much for joining me. I had a lot of fun. You did the most of the work in case of shouting, so my voice is very refreshed. I hope you'll relax your voice now because I kind of feel bad for it.
I gotta drink some water.
Yeah, drink some water, and we'll see you next tomorrow. I think the first game is Team Mental Papier against Arna. No, it's not. Is it? I'm not sure. Well, whatever. It's in the schedule in the Discord. Please excuse me.
I will be there tomorrow.
Oh, I won't. Well, I will play.
Oh,
Please cast me.
Do I get to shoutcast your game? What
Yeah, I'll shoutcast my play. Okay. Goodbye, guys.